going to see if I can make this work. Have to talk a little bit with my hands. So I can't tell you how honored I am to be here today, and very tough to follow the chairman, just saying. And I think I'm recovering from those remarks and how powerful they are. I'm here on behalf of Ecology Director Maya Bellin, who has a very special connection to the Yakima people and who's very much regrets that she's not able to be here with you today. Had another commitment, long-standing commitment that she just was not able to change. So truly, in my 30 years of working for the state of Washington, this is just an incredible honor to be here. So thank you. Ecology has worked for decades with the Yakima Nation and other partners on Hanford cleanup, on Hanford restoration. I had the great pleasure to work with Russell Zehm for many years. Shortly after the lawsuit around natural resource damages was filed by the Yakima Nation, state of Washington was asked to be part of that, and so began a lot of meetings, a lot of discussions, and I was often in meetings with lots of other people, with Russell Zehm, where he was a demanding partner. You always wanted to be your best, to be your most articulate, to be your most authentic around Russell, because he helped you get there if you weren't there to start with. One of my favorite memories of Russell Zehm is after a particularly difficult natural resource damage assessment meeting amongst a group of us trustees, he said, you know, Polly, you and I need to talk. We need to talk one-on-one. You're going to come to my office. And so he set up a time for me to spend an afternoon with him in his office in Union Gap. And it was a very difficult and meaningful afternoon. Russell shared with me his commitment to Hanford, his deep commitment, lifetime commitment to addressing the harms that Hanford has caused the Yakima people and other people in the region. And to sum it up very shortly, Russell asked me to think very differently about the Columbia River. And it was to stop thinking about it as something separate from us people, and to think of it, to think of ourselves as part of the river, and to think of the river as ourselves. Because restoring the health to the river and cleaning it up and bringing it back to health was really what brings health to the people, all people associated with the river and this great, incredible basin and region that it supports. And that's really helped me think in a different way, and I hope to understand in a different way what the impact of all of our work, whether it's on the cleanup side of Hanford or the restoration work at Hanford, to stop thinking about it like a regulator and to start thinking about the whole ecosystem, the whole humanity that's associated with the river, and what we've done to the river and what we can do to help heal the river and ourselves. The other thing I absolutely took away from that meeting was Russell's concern and commitment to youth working on Hanford. And he was very concerned that youth didn't have the chance to see Hanford and what had happened at Hanford and what was continuing as a result of what happened at the Hanford Reservation. They didn't live through that in the way he did, and they weren't touched by it and didn't have that intrinsic understanding of it in the way he did. And he was trying very hard to make sure that Yakima Nation youth and other youth were educated in the sciences and in cultural resources and in the social and political aspects of Hanford so that they could carry on his work and understanding that the legacy goes on for decade after decade, the legacy of harm, so the legacy of commitment to cleanup and restoration has to be carried on by many generations, and it couldn't stop with him. And I see today, as I work with leaders at Yakima Nation in the different departments around Hanford, around the water issues, I see those leaders. I see great people hired from within and outside of Yakima Nation. I see youth, incredible youth, coming in. Some of them aren't so young anymore because they've been at it for a while. But I see Yakima Nation's incredible commitment to bringing the best to the very hard work of environmental cleanup and restoration, and to bring health in all of its aspects back to this area and back to all of us, and especially back to the Yakima people. And I see that as one of the most important things that I do in my work. And again, I'm just incredibly honored to be here with all of you today, and our partnership is more important now than ever. So thank you very much for your dedication to Hanford.